There are many underlying reasons and some not so complicated reasons to why we overeat, screw up, binge, or whatever you want to label it as. That's not what we're looking at today. Today, I'm running you through what I do when it happens. This is where I fucked up many times, got it wrong, and created some pretty bad and long-lasting habits that took me a full year to get over. So I'm going to give you my input into what I've learned from a pretty negative relationship with food in the past. I mean, we all have days with food where we eat a little bit too much, but usually it's what we do the next day that really matters. And let's be honest, it never happens from sort of apples, avocado, fruits, and that kind of thing. It's always from the sugary, more satiating food groups that we tend to overindulge with. So the first point that we're going to stick to, and there's going to be 6 of them today, is that number 1, we're going to stick to the plan. I'm not talking about the diet plan here, by the way. I'm talking about your life. Often we feel down, guilty, and even sometimes depressed. So the best thing to do is get back to your day, get productive. Don't give in to negative thoughts and try and boost your energy and mindset by completing some tasks that you usually would, alongside doing things that you enjoy that generally just make you happy. So what I do straight away is the things that I would do in any other normal day. I get up, take my supplements, run through my routine, try and get a pint or so of water in, or in this case a little bit of vitamin D goes a long way. I'll take my creatine and just generally run through my day in my head. This stops me from feeling like something's wrong or something's different. Generally just stops me from throwing my day away. If you can get over the first hurdle or the first task of your morning routines, I know it sounds very blasé, but trust me mate, it works to put you in a solid mindset by completing your first task. The second tip is going to be to do not weigh yourself the next day. You're probably wondering why. I found that the extra food and water retention and glycogen would always make me be a little bit heavier, and then I'd attribute this to body fat, which it generally isn't. Which, when we look at it from a logical situation, we know that one rainy day doesn't make for a bad summer, i.e. you haven't gained that much body fat really, mate, if anything. Avoiding the unnecessary start to the day is a solid way to start the day. So pad the scales for the day and just crack on. Number 3 is going to be to remove your Apple Watch or your Fitbit if you're so inclined to wear one. This may seem like removing your right arm for some people, but hear me out. A lot of the time I found myself trying to clock up extra activity just to burn through some more calories. Now, although this may not seem like a big deal, it was the start of a road to non-purge bulimia for me, and sorry that sounds a little bit heavy or scary to some people, but it was. You should not be punishing yourself for a mistake. It doesn't solve anything in the future, trust me. And on that note, you can never fuck this up. Like, the journey is not 8, 12 or even 52 weeks. Your journey is a lifetime, and that one day in that mammoth time frame is like a drop in the ocean. So learn to ignore those drops and you'll feel 10 times better for it, trust me. This one's a bit of a bonus tip, so it's not free, it's kind of like 2.5. Do the shit that you want to do. Of course, don't shy away from tasks or doing work, but try and also do things that make you happy. I picked up a good quote from a guy called Paul Moore, who told me to write down an arsenal of things that make me feel happy, that I could go to at any time, and I think that's pretty cool. So after I finish some tasks, what I'll usually do is do some things like editing and the parts of work that I actually want to do and actually pretty much enjoy. The other thing that I'm a sucker for is a brew, or in this case a peppermint tea. It generally just helps my digestive system a little, and it also helps help settle down the bloat that often follows sometimes after overindulging. Well, I tend to find it does anyway. Then I'll kick back and watch some TV. At the moment, The Crown is kind of like my guilty pleasure. Well, actually, it's not even that guilty, to be honest. I just think it's pretty sick. The other thing that I'll try and stay away from as much as I can is social media. The one thing that always kills your happiness is comparison. And when you already feel like you've failed, there's nothing worse than looking at some saucy guy that looks like the size of a house and is absolutely diced, or a girl who could balance a tea party on a diarrhea. So leave that all alone for today. Now, number 4 is going to be training and also making the most of it. We want to again start how we would usually start any other session and create some normality in our day. So my go-to is setting into mind, put my headphones in, getting my supplements ready, and then I'll generally just kind of run through what the session's going to be in my head. The other thing you want to try and do is put on a banging playlist, which for me at the moment, if you need something a little heavier to pull you through a big lift, is my playlist that is on Spotify, which is Time to Get Mazzy. Yeah, you can just thank me later. I know that the tendency for a lot of people will just be to look how they can burn the most calories in a session, but I want you to switch this mentality to, okay, I'm now fueled with more energy than usual, i.e. food, so let's use it to lift heavy shit, push my performance, and most of all, enjoy moving. Set up a session that you really are going to enjoy and not one that is just going to burn calories. After all, you won't have your Apple Watch or your Fitbit on anyway. I find lifting really helps to elevate any, not elevate, that's the last thing you want to do, alleviate any stress. And although at first it may not seem like you really want to be there, you'll never finish a gym session and go, do you know what, I wish I hadn't done that. So whether you have a gym or you're training indoors with minimal kit, just try and get after it as much as you can. You may have also noticed in this session that I'm currently going through that I had my watch on at some certain points. This wasn't to track calories, I didn't even press the training button, it was just to time some of my rest times. Again, it's just another way and another method to keep your head in the session and stop you thinking about how you might have messed up. And although this part may seem or sound a little vain, I actually enjoy towards the end of the session just looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself how good I look. It's good sometimes just to give yourself a little bit of a positive reinforcement and just love yourself a little bit, or in my case a lot. Tip number 5 is going to be grooming. I know you're probably thinking, what the flying shit show has this got to do with getting back on track after I've binged? But it's a whole lot to do with mindset. And if you feel good about yourself and positive shit is going to happen. So the first thing that I'll do is lay my clothes out, jump in the shower, preferably quite a long one. And then what I usually do is have a decent shave, or try and not hack half my face off with a really sharp razor. It's usually preferable. It's quite ideal. And then what I will also do is use some skincare products to kind of just try and beautify myself a little bit and make myself look a little bit more presentable for the day. This one is actually an anti-aging cream, purely due to the fact that when I went into the shop and asked for a moisturiser, the sale assistant mugged me off and insisted I use this one, so here we are. The other thing is get yourself looking decent, bang some clobber on, and then, yeah, pretty much you're set up to tackle the day. Number 6 is going to be lay off MyFitnessPal for the day. Just trying to eat more intuitively for one day. I know for some this is easier said than done, but if you spend some time listening to your hunger signals rather than cutting back on food and clocking up calories you need to put or hit to get back on track, you will feel far less anxious and stressed about your day. A little like after when you've been on a big night out on the booze and end up being Billy Big Dick ordering bottle after bottle to the table. It's probably best not to check your bank balance the next day or try and clock up how many vodkas you sank. I'm not saying you have to delete the app, but it may just be preferable to kind of stop you from using it. So now it's time that we hit the food sanctuary, i.e. Lidl. So we are back from the shop. Just picked up some goodies, some food, some fuel, whatever you want to call it. Also just got a package from, well, some fish oils basically, because I had a blood test, when was it? Last week, and came back that my omega and stuff were down, so I just picked up some new fish oils. I think they're like extra strength ones. Fucking extra strong to get into them. Jesus Christ, fuck's wrap this. Yeah, so got some extra strength fish oils to go along with the subs. Other thing that I always drink a lot of is water the day after I've overeaten, just because it helps flush everything out, helps feel a little bit better. I am a peasant when it comes to getting water in, so I usually get these strawberry sugar-free ones. Get about 1.5 litres, bang on. We're going to be making an egg fritter slash an omelette slash, I've only got this pan, so it's probably going to end up turning into a muffin. But I'm not going to be showing you macros, calories, quantities, because we're not counting calories today. It's just going to be, I bought some food today which are like satisfying for me, like the day after. I usually like quite a lot of protein cookies and that kind of shit, which isn't always like great for your gut or your GI tract. So I try and get something which is a little bit more fibrous, something's going to keep me a little bit more full. and just something which is like more organic and just isn't like manufactured shit. So let's do it. Oh, I fucking bought more peanut butter there, like, that's an absolute killer. I'm kind of just gonna like separate these into like 3 main areas. One's just like preparing shit, frying it, and then I'm gonna bang it in the oven. So you don't have to be like a master chef to do this one, like it's fairly easy. All I'm gonna be doing first is just frying, well, chopping them first, but then frying the veggies just so they don't taste like, rubber when you're eating them. In the what's the fuck, what am I making? In the omelette slash fitter slash muffin style thing. But yeah, let's get stuck in. So I'm just gonna like bang like half a pack. Can you even fry broccoli? I've always microwaved broccoli, you know, I don't even know if you can fry it. This is like a very foreign to me. We'll see what happens. I'll do for broccoli, little trees. You know what they say about too much tree? No, I don't want to say too much tree. Do you even need to chop the spinach up? I think you just put it straight in the pan. I don't know why I'm putting it on the chopping board. I'm also just going to use some of these mushrooms. A lot of people like are put off by mushrooms. I feel like mushrooms are kind of like the food that even adults when they get to a certain age don't switch over to and like. It's like they associate with fungi or something like that when they see them when they're a kid. I don't know if some people have had negative experiences and they've made those connotations with food. Who knows? All I'm saying is they taste pretty sick. You also just bulk food out quite a lot, and that's what I want today. Oh yeah, also using the Spray Light sunflower oil cooking spray. I always tend to use it anyway, not just because we've been on a mad food binge yesterday. I feel like I'm putting a lot of veggies in this and it's going to end up being a lot more veggie than egg, which is kind of not ideal. I'm also going to season it with not cinnamon, probably. I'm going to bang some salt in there because if you make anything taste shit, salt will generally make it taste better. Just a quick tip for you there. And then yeah, I'm just going to pretty much fry it up. I'm also just going to start smashing the eggs in. Probably have quite a few whites because actually, when I go to a restaurant a lot of the time, I've been to a place called Piccolino's. I think it's called Piccolino's. It's some kind of Italian anyway. And they always hate me because I asked for like a 10 egg white omelette. So again, I'm not just throwing the yolks away because calories. I'm just throwing the yolks away because I generally enjoy egg white omelettes. And if one will have like 10 eggs, like I prefer not to have a heart attack from a shitload of yolks. Just science, innit? Whoa, mate, you fucking calm down. Fucking spatula, wooden spoons, just on a mind of its own. That's 6. I think I've got another pack here somewhere as well, so I'm gonna crack them open as well. We're pretty devastated if I haven't. Yes, yeah. Top tip in your kitchen, always have backup eggs. You never know. Well, you do know, you can probably just go down the road and get another pack, but you know what I mean. You know why I always say, do you know what I mean? Like I know what I'm talking about because I don't. I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. And that's the beauty of today. We just kind of do it on a whim. Nothing's measured. It's just kind of like getting back to life. Not tracking anything. Just eating some good food. Probably trying not to burn it. I'm actually going to bang one normal egg in there as well because I'm sure he feels a bit lonely without a bit of yolk in there. If I just put all the yolks back in there, because that's not ideal, I have as well. Do you know, I wonder who the first person was to say, do you know what, that egg is missing a bit of milk. Does anyone else think about that? Because I do. So I'm just going to wait patiently for this to fry up, and once it's done I'm going to pour my egg on, slap it in the oven. Job's a good one. So now just about to pop the eggs into the mixer. I don't know if anyone's had the same issue with spinach, like you basically put a full tray in it and you get a couple of shriveled leaves out of it. Because it's already in a hot pan, I reckon it should take like max 5 minutes to cook, but just keep coming back on and checking it until it's ideal.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh, don't pick up a hot pan. Do not pick up a hot pan. Wow. Learn your lesson there, kids. Fuck. Whew. Jeez, this is going to be the hard bit, I think, is trying to get him out. Some of it's a little bit softer than, oh, it's nice and slidey, that. So, some more time has elapsed, gone by. I'm just about to chow down an egg and cress butty that I found in the reduced whoopsie section, which is pretty cool. Again, some more egg. I don't know why, I always lean towards egg when I have one of these days. I think what I always advise people to do is eat foods that you would potentially eat through childhood and get away from calorie count and kind of look back to a time where you enjoyed food and you saw food for what it was. Like something to enjoy and something to be pleasurable and something to be satiating rather than just a number. So I tend to go for a lot of egg butties. It wasn't really a fritter that other meal, was it? Because it didn't have any cheese in it. Is that what makes a fritter? Is that what defines a fritter, is cheese? Who knows? I am about to head out on a walk. Don't know how many steps we're gonna hit. I'm just gonna walk, potentially grab a coffee, put a podcast on, just enjoy it and chill. Then again, that's another thing that I often do and I didn't realise until today, is that even when I go for a walk, I am looking at step count or I'm doing something on my phone. So today I'm just gonna leave all my shit at home, apart from my phone obviously because the podcast won't stretch that far. But I'm gonna leave and watch at home again, not clock my steps. Like I've had it off pretty much all day now and I can see my activity level is like pretty much non-existent, which is good because I can't see then what I've been doing, which I don't want to do. To conclude the video here, I hope that was helpful. Hope this, if you have maybe just been through the day before, overindulging or even binge eating, and obviously just to define binge eating is consuming a large, or I think it's over, I don't know, it was over 35% of your calories in one sitting, and then obviously feeling guilty about it and eating it pretty quickly. So if that's you, then obviously just realise it's not the end of the world. Today is another day or tomorrow is another day. And don't punish yourself for it because negativity never gets anyone anywhere. We know from reoffending rates from prisons that punishment doesn't work. So don't punish yourself. Instead, do the polar opposite. Like, enjoy yourself, treat yourself, reward yourself, because positivity is gonna put you in a better headspace to then move forward with it. And that's all I've pretty much done today. It wasn't any tactics to do with like foods, calories, cutting down, getting back to a certain marker point. It would put myself in a positive mental place to then move forward and do tasks and do shit that I want to do without drawing me back from life. Wow, we got a little bit philosophical there, didn't we? But I hope you enjoyed the videos, guys. If this was helpful, or you found it at all helpful, please give it a massive like and a thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting my channel, then just contemplating that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm finna jump for the shit up top when I speak all cap with the speech till they cut up in the